What's going on, guys? We're going to start very soon. Give it about a minute. Okay, so let me just first of all try to access this website. Yes. Can everyone see TradingView? See. What about now? You can see it? Okay, so I mentioned pivot points earlier. I think it was last week. And I promised you guys that I would tell you a little bit more about pivot points and how I use it. This is just one of a few indicators that I use from time to time. Um, and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you a few other indicators that I've used in the past. If you look at my charts, I really don't use, as far as like putting indicators in the graph, I really don't use that many indicators. I trade price action, and I use the TTM to kind of give me a direction, open up my eyes to large percentage possibilities, right? But the pivot points is a indicator that I picked up a few years ago, and I use it from time to time. I really use it on the TradingView app. I don't know if you guys have TradingView, but I would definitely subscribe. It's actually they have like a free account. I actually, I give signals and stuff, or I just set alerts. So I'll set alerts in TradingView. I like TradingView's alerts rather than Thinkorswim's. For some reason, I just prefer TradingView. So I use TradingView for various reasons, but the pivot points that I've seen on Thinkorswim don't look as eye appealing as these, right? So first of all, what are pivot points, right? Pivot points are essentially resistance and support areas already mapped out for you using algorithm. Uh, we're not going to get into like the gist of like how a pivot point is created, but essentially all that you need to know is that it gives you a great sense of support and resistance, right? I have Amazon pulled up right now, and these lines are already set for you at the beginning of the trading session, right? Each trading session. So coincidentally, I don't really believe in coincidences, right? But look, Amazon touches the support one, right? And if you would have bought this dip right here, you would have been up about 80 or $40 or so, right? A couple thousands of dollars if you're trading options, right? So it's a very great indicator that I've used in the past. This is just a 5-minute chart. I'll actually show you guys just how like crazy accurate this thing is. Um, and of course, I have the Bollinger Bands as well, and I'll show you that on the Thinkorswim. I've used the Bollinger Bands. I know a few members say that they're not particularly fond of them, and I just want to go more in depth with the indicator because I think it personally it's a great indicator. So, I'll touch on that a little bit more. Maybe you can, if you're here tonight, that same person or anyone that's probably having trouble or hasn't used it, maybe you can shoot me a message of exactly, what the problem is with the indicator. Because I think that it serves its purpose pretty well. I mean, you can pick up all kinds of plays from this. I'll actually show you a mid Bollinger Band support bounce play that you can use quite often. I mean, you can see it here on Amazon. The mid Bollinger Band acts as a critical support. So if you get a bounce on this middle band, and I'll show you on Thinkorswim platform as well. But if usually if you can get a good bounce off of this middle band, you want to take an entry on the outside of these bands, so the outer band. So right here, if you would have took this entry here on Amazon at 2086, you would have been up about, you know, wow. I mean, that's a lot. That's like almost $400 just on a daily if you're thinking about just swinging, But just going to touch on that using the TradingView platform. Now I'm going to switch over to the Thinkorswim. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys the blueprint to some moving averages that I've used in the past. There's actually an indicator. It's pivot points. There is a pivot point indicator on Thinkorswim, but it doesn't look nearly the same as TradingView, which is why I don't use Thinkorswim for that indicator. Like the main reason why I use TradingView is particularly for that indicator. Like that's how crazy accurate that indicator is for me, at least in the past, or even till this day, I could say. So, if you want to dibble and dabble into that, I suggest you use the TradingView app. Otherwise, I wouldn't really bother with the Thinkorswim platform for that. As nice as the Thinkorswim platform, the charts look, just that indicator on here just does. It's just not the same. It won't give you the same purpose. So I don't know why it's so different, but it just is. Um, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up for you guys. Can everyone see my Thinkorswim screen? TDM. So here's a question: how is the TTM on TradingView? I've seen other people use TTM on TradingView. It doesn't look as eye-appealing as it does on Thinkorswim. I can tell you that much. It doesn't really the histogram. I don't feel as if the histogram bars are given any justice on TradingView. It's definitely not as colorful or as easy to read as it is on TradingView. Like there's clear indication here that we have a squeeze, and then we have the light blue histogram bars pointing to the upside, which gives us upside momentum on this ticker BA. This is the daily chart. Awesome. So we have someone here that is saying TradingView, you need the TTM squeeze momentum by Drake, and it's more like the Thinkorswim. I can post in the chat. Yeah, do that. So you're saying that it looks essentially like the one on Thinkorswim? All right, I'm gonna check that out myself, actually. Thank you for that information. So I'm gonna load um, one of my studies. Is gonna be this GCDC, which stands for Golden Cross. How many of you guys have heard of Golden Cross? Can anyone give me an example? Like what is Golden Cross? Perhaps someone said nope, you never heard of Golden Cross. Anyone here heard of the term Golden Cross? Yes, for me, really. Okay. Well, you know what they say, you learn something new every day, right? That's why you guys are here. So right now, I am using simple moving averages along with the Bollinger Bands indicator. So we have some questions. The 50 cross 200 in daily. Yeah, so essentially Golden Cross can mean various things. Particularly like Particularly, it really means the shorter time frame crosses or overlaps the longer time period, heading to the like pointing upward, right? So here you can see on my charts. Let me switch this one to my golden cross too, so it'll make it easier on you guys. Okay. So I have the 30 pulled up, the 1 hour, and I have the 1 minute, but I don't have any indicators on that because we're just reading price action down here and reading level 2 and time and sales, right? So the golden cross here would be this golden line here. This is my 5 simple moving average. And I know some of you may have encountered, you may have encountered both simple moving averages and exponential moving averages. I use the simple moving averages. It's just what I'm accustomed to, uh, not taking away from the EMAs. But I just feel as if sometimes the simple moving averages give you more of a trend-based indicator because like I say, bigger the time frame, bigger the move, right? So if you get a bounce off of a slower moving average, then essentially you could probably say that is that support is going to hold, right? Because it's the indicator itself is already lagging behind the exponential, right? So anytime I play a bounce play off of a simple moving average, I tend to get great results, and I'll show you. You know, um, with the EMAs, I use those more like in scalping, right? Quicker plays, right? Um, but like my bounce plays, my breakout plays, I want something that's going to really last because remember in the TTM squeeze, we usually get 8 to 10 bars, right? So I want to really get a great entry on a squeeze play. Okay, so do I use Fibonacci? I've used Fibonacci maybe once or twice. I don't really use Fibonacci's. I the first time I used Fibonacci, I'll pull this up for you. The first and the last time, I can say. I used was on Beyond Meat, which was also the first ticker that I actually tried out the selling premiums on. So this was back when the ticker first launched on the as an IPO, right? If we've been trading for a little while, we remember when this thing just totally blasted off. And I actually used Fibonacci to kind of get a great feel to where it could potentially bounce. I was looking to grab a bounce play because it was actually squeezing at the time. But yeah, I don't really specialize in Fibonacci's. I mean, they can be useful, they can be great, but um, you know, but I will show you guys the golden cross. So here you can see my golden line here. That's why I colored it yellow. It'll help remind me of when this occurs. So we're looking at the 4-hour chart on Beyond Meat. Just going to give you guys an example, right? And here you can see where the 5-period simple moving average. Let me bring this up for you guys. I want you guys to like really see like this is the 5-period simple moving average. Actually, let me just do this. So the 5-period simple moving average overlaps the 10-period simple moving average. And you can see that here, right? Can everyone see this? No, I have the got some resistance lines pulled up, but essentially when the 5 crosses over this 10, you have bullish momentum. That's a buy signal, right? For calls. Anytime, and that's what you call a golden cross. When the 5 crosses the 10, that's a golden cross. That essentially that means that that is a buy signal for you to grab calls. And just coincidentally, like I said, I don't really believe in coincidences, but you would have grabbed calls there. You could have rolled this for, about $9, a couple hundred, a couple $1,000, depending on your position size, right? And there's also terms like the death cross. That's when the 5 crosses below the 10. So it's like just the opposite going on there. And that's a sell signal. And here you can see the 5 crosses the 10, and then we get a drop. I mean, it took it quite a while because we actually came up and tested some of these levels. So like I say, indicators, I say time and time again, indicators are lagging indications, right? There's no guarantee, and there's no time period of when these events can occur, right? Let's check out some more examples, kind of like show you guys. And again, if you don't have these indicators, you can go to studies on Thinkorswim. You can go to add studies. And for the Bollinger Bands, you can go to volatility studies, Bollinger Bands, add it there. And for the moving averages, of course, add study, moving averages, simple moving averages. And you just type in 5. Let me pull this up for you. You just make sure that 5 is here on the length distance. This place is 0. Price is closed. And you can color it whatever you want. You can make this the line. You can make a dotted line. You can make it a solid line. You can make it whatever you want. But this is just my settings. This is what I have it as. So we have some questions. VWAP. I've used VWAP in the past. But the 5 and the 10 simple moving averages just work for me. And I see a question. It says you 6:16 p.m. Interesting. So you use the 5 and 10 simple moving averages and not the 50 simple moving average and the 200. I actually have the 200 pulled up as well. I just haven't got to that quite yet. But this dotted line here is actually my 200, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's my 200. Um, so, and I also have 50, unless I remove the 50, but I've used the 50 as well. But the 5 and the 10 for me, when I'm day trading, it works so much better. And even when I'm swing trading, especially when I'm swing trading, it works so much. It just works so much better than some of these other indicators I've seen. I just keep it simple. I don't complicate things. This thing has worked for me for years. Until I just started getting to price action, I just didn't want all this stuff on my screens. I just got tired of seeing all these different things on my screen. I took it off. Um, but before then, it worked for me. Here's a question: does it work good for scalp trading? Uh, Scalps, I really wouldn't use the simple moving average for scalps. Now you can throw it on your charts, and you will see some cases where it'll help you out. But again, it's slower than the exponential. So I would use the exponential when scalping. If you're looking to take full advantage of the TTM squeeze, because remember the TTM squeeze isn't a quick, essentially it isn't a quick move, right? And let me just add the TTM to this to just show you guys what I'm talking about. Because remember, with the TTM, how many bars of momentum are we supposed to get? Can anyone give me an answer of how many bars typically we get with the TTM? Just going to take this off real quick. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'll do it over here as well for everyone so we can see it on multiple time frames. All right. So we were talking about how many bars of momentum we typically get on the TTM. 8 to 10 bars, correct. What about in the daily, same setup? Yes, and the daily, daily, if you're looking at the daily chart, guys, you're looking to possibly swing trade. I mean, essentially, if you guys are proficient, which you will be proficient at, reading candlesticks, I mean, essentially, you can already pre-calculate how the day of that ticker is going to go just by based off of what kind of patterns are leading before that session, or maybe the previous candlestick is like a hammer, right? Or maybe it's an evening star, maybe it's a inverted hammer, maybe it's a doji, maybe it's a dragon doji, maybe it's a gravestone doji, right? Depending on the different candlesticks that it is. So I mean, you can use it for, scalping. You can use it for day trading. You can use it for swing trading. Everything depends on you guys doing your own due diligence and really diving into everything that we're teaching you, and just using that. I mean, I go to TradingView all the time and I look at candlestick patterns and I'll look at how we ended that day, and I'll make a chart of all of the FANG stocks that ended with a pin bar, right? A pin bar. Can anyone tell me what the pin bar is? What is a pin bar candlestick? Hammer, the tail of hammer. And someone said you couldn't see my pop-up screen. I'm sorry. Let me just redo this for you guys so you can see. Okay, so this is the 5 simple moving average, right? Let me just switch over. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? I'm sorry about that. Awesome. Okay, so this is the 5. This is the length is 5. This place is 0. You need the price to be closed. It should all be default, honestly. And draw as, this will make it whatever you want this indicator or this indicator to appear as. I have mine as a solid line because my 200-day moving average are dotted. It's a dotted line. For the 10, it's the same thing. This is just 10. Same thing, just 10. I have the 5 as a yellow color symbolizing golden cross. So when the yellow crosses my green I made green because of money. I think of golden cross crossing over the green. That means that's money. I need to be in calls. Easy reminder to myself, right? That's how I just literally dominated this indicator for many of months until I switched over to just price action. So giving you guys this key is very useful. It's very accurate, especially with day trading and swing trading, especially equipped with the TTM squeeze. Right. Pin bar is another term for hammer. Yes. So if you're going through and doing your nightly watch list and you're checking out, what tickers were up or what tickers were down, uh, what tickers made massive moves. You should be checking out the previous day candlestick. What was it, right? That could give you a indication, a clue to where the next session may potentially, go or go after hours pre-market or even that day, right? If you're showing a pin bar that's showing that the stock sold off and buyers stepped in at a certain price level and they pushed it higher, right? That's like bullish momentum. That's like one of the best bullish momentums you can see, right? I mean, just look at the rally itself. Look at where we've been. Just gonna pull up SPY real quick. It's a 4-hour chart. Gonna pull up the daily. Right. I remember trading this since like, what was that, like 18? Just watching these hammers, right? Let's check this out. All right, these hammers, this is a pin bar right here. All right, pin bar going higher, going higher, going higher, pin bar going higher, pushing higher. Pin bar is all the way up. Every single day was a pin bar. You know, I mean, look, this isn't rocket science, guys. I'm telling you this because I want you guys to be successful. Right? Check this out, Golden Cross. It didn't really last, right? We came back, but we did test previous support and we actually went higher. But if you were taking calls based off of this swinging, you probably would have got shooken out because it kind of came below and tested at that 10-period moving average. If you held, then it would have been great. Um, so it's not perfect, but for the most part, Golden Cross, buy signal, went higher. Golden Cross again, buy signal, went higher. You know, check out the 30. Golden Cross, buy signal, Death Cross, So I don't know. It works. So here's a question. So you would buy 3 weeks out? I buy anywhere from 2 weeks to a month out on my swings. And it depends on what I'm looking to do with the swing. Um, you know, uh, like a couple of my buddies, we were like, if when Spy hit, what was it? We were saying when Spy crossed 301 that we were going to swing calls next year. And I mean, where was that at that we bought here? So I mean, we're up $20 on that, right? Look at the TTM squeeze, bullish momentum, daily chart, golden cross with a combined with the TTM squeeze, right? This alone gives you confirmation, buy signal, TTM squeeze, bullish momentum on the very same day that we got a golden cross. No coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I trade the charts. You should too. Here's a question. So do you usually stay in the contract until you see the golden cross below? It depends. It depends on, like, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to swing this for weeks? Are you looking to day trade this? You're looking to scalp play this? If you're looking to scalp play, I mean, you should be in and out minutes max, like 5 minutes max. If I'm scalping, I'm not in longer than 5 minutes. You know, usually if I'm scalping, I'm in 2-3 minutes. I'm done. I've caught enough that I'm satisfied and I'm walking away. You know, day trading, quite possibly, unless I see a great moving average below it. Like if I saw a 200, like here, if I saw a 200, imagine this was a 30-minute, right? And I saw the 200 like wrap below it, then I would probably wait for the 200 because that's a very strong moving average, right? That's a key indicator. So it's a lot of things that comes into play. You have to be very versatile with it. You got to be able to look at the playing field. You know, you guys are trading against some of the sharpest minds in the world in the stock market. So you have to come prepared. You have to come ready. You know, my best advice in a situation like that is to know your take profit levels and to know your stop losses. And the rest of everything else in the middle is just noise. It's just noise. You don't even need to worry about it. Like, you know, if it drops below, okay, you know, just know where your stop loss is. Make sure if you're in profit to stay in profit. There's no need to be in profit and try to hold on for more. And then you end up losing, guys. And I'm talking from experience. I've been there. I lost $3,000 before I became profitable. So I've been there, you know, been there. I've done that. I'm telling you guys from experience. Here's a question. Here's a couple questions. So, do you usually stay in the contract until you see the golden cross below? And how long is the golden cross buy signal valid? That depends on the market. You know, no ticker is going to move by itself, right? If SPY is dumping, going down, guess what? The market's probably going with it. So you gotta keep in mind the levels of SPY, know where SPY's at, right? If you guys want to be profitable and successful, follow SPY's movement before you follow anything else. You know, like even if you have a favorite ticker, right? I'm sure everyone here has a favorite ticker. Give me some of you guys' favorite tickers right now. Give me some, and I'll continue to answer some of these questions. But right now, just throw some of your favorite tickers that you like to trade. Let me see what you guys like to trade. Tesla, BA, Amazon, Penn, MGM, Apple, RCL, Facebook, Netflix, Disney. We got a lot of different tickers, right? Guess what, guys? Before you decide to trade that ticker, you need to check out where SPY is going. I don't want anyone entering any contracts if they have yet to look at where SPY is heading, right? You will save yourself so much headache, so much frustration, so much money. You will save yourself so much money, guys, if you check out where SPY is going first, find out where SPY is going, then you trade your ticker or you trade whatever breakout is about to happen. Move on to the next question. So do we take the trade on the golden cross or do we take the trade once the red dots become green after the squeeze? Okay, great question. So there's two ways I like to play the squeeze, right? One way is riskier, no risk, no reward. More risk, more reward, right? The other way is a tad bit safer, which I would actually probably recommend people use that way until you build up a portfolio which you can take riskier trades. you know, before you even take the trade, right? It needs to be a high probable trade. So regardless of your entry, the trade should still work out in your favors, depending on your stop loss and your take profit. But really, your stop loss determines, where you go from there. So if you were looking to combine the 5 period and 10 period simple moving average with the TTM squeeze, right? It's a slower time frame, so you're looking to swing this, I'm guessing. I would, if you're looking to swing on the TTM, I think it's best to get in while it's squeezing and showing bullish momentum. So that would have been on this here. It was a red bar, it was a red dot, and we got bullish momentum. We also got a cross on the golden. We also got a golden cross with the 5 and the 10. Right, you'd be up like $20. That was the day we was like, all right, it was cross 301. So that would have been a buy signal. There's no telling how long that buy signal could have last, right? It could have came up, $4 and came back and crossed below. I hope that you would have taken profits, because why, guys? Why do I always say take profits? What have I never seen? I've never seen a man, man or woman. Yeah, never seen a man go broke taking profits. Never, ever, 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 ever in my life have I ever seen a man go broke taking profits. I don't care if it's 20 bucks. I don't care if it's $20, guys. Guess what? I know some bills. I had a light bill, not a light bill. I had a water bill that was $30, right? So guess what? You taking that $20 just almost paid your light bill right there. That's money that you essentially save. You're increasing your cash flow. That's what this is all about, cash flow. Maintaining more than we spend, maintaining more than what goes out of our accounts, right? So if it's the next question. So do we take the trade on the golden cross, or do we take the trade once the green become okay? So back to the strategy I was talking about. You can take the squeeze on the break of a key level of resistance, and that's what you would call like a breakout play. And essentially, what you will see, or typically what you'll see, is you'll see once you break a key level, which is so crazy. I find this so crazy, and it really confirms the move, because a lot of times you'll see a ticker break a key level, right? And you'll also see the TTM squeeze light up green at the very same time that it's breaking that level. I hope that you guys have looked at Kev's how to make support and resistance levels. If you haven't already, go and check that out on YouTube. But it's crazy how you'll see these indicators lining up with price action. That would be a definite sign for me to be in calls if we were going to the upside. Uh, Alongside, I'm watching level 2 and time and sells, confirming that this is actually buyers stepping in and not just market makers trying to raise the price before they drop it, because that will happen. So, there's different things that come into play when you should be entering a trade. It's more than just, oh, I see a golden cross, I'm buying calls, right? You see a golden cross, okay, that's great. That's a buy signal. What is the level 2 telling you, though? Because right here we got a golden cross and then we dumped, right? So if you would have checked the level 2 time and sells here, it would have told you that buyers weren't stepping in above 290. So you don't need to be in calls. And that's what any indicators use. You guys need to be looking at level 2. Level 2 is not going to lie to you. It's going to tell you everything that you need to know with the market. So let me move on to the next question. If you're buying a month out, so theta would be low, I'm guessing. And how do you find contract with like how much IV? Okay, so I remember Kevin talked about theta and the Greeks and IV and all that good stuff like the first week. So you can go back and check that out. I'll briefly just say that when you're buying into the squeeze, you're not really so concerned with theta and IV. I mean, if you're trading tickers like Tesla, IV is going to be crazy regardless most of the time. First of all, so you need to already know what ticker you're trading, right? Don't just be trading random tickers. Do your due diligence and make sure that your tickers have great deltas, and the deltas are more than the thetas, right? Because you want to be making more than you're losing on time decay, right? So right there, that'll save you some time. That'll save you some money right there. When you're buying in the squeeze, uh, volatility is relatively low, so IV will be relatively low. Depending on the ticker. I mean, some tickers naturally just are high, but even still, I mean, I saw the other day Tesla had like some low IV, and it was crazy. Like one of the first times I ever seen in a while. It was also in the 4-hour squeeze. So here's the question: can you use the golden death cross with Jay's EMA cross? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that would be called the golden cross as well. It's just I have my tickers colored differently, quite possibly. So my tickers are the yellow is golden. When the yellow crosses the green stands for money. So when the golden crosses the green, which is money, that's a golden cross for me. If you take J's EMAs and you just discolor them, you make them gold and green, it'd probably be the same thing. But essentially, the golden cross is just when the shorter time period crosses over or overlaps the longer time period. That is a bullish indication. That is bullish sentiment. That's all that is, right? Your shorter time price action is crossing or overlapping your longer time period price action. That's bullish. That's a bullish indication. That's all it is. These indicators is algorithms made fancy, eye appealing to us to kind of give us that indication. That's all that it is. Here's a statement. Today I saw SPY moving downwards while Amazon was moving upward. Didn't take the trade because they both were opposite directions. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I want everyone to take note of that, right? I'm gonna read this one more time. Today I saw SPY moving downwards while Amazon was moving upward. Didn't take the trade because they both going opposite directions. That's amazing. Um, I applaud you for that. As long as you follow your rules, you'll be fine, man. You'll be golden, right? There are times where I'm not gonna lie. There's times where I've taken trades when they weren't following SPY, and I can count on one hand how many times I've done that. Like the time where Disney, I believe it was when Disney had that news about Disney Plus, right? When they first launched their expected numbers. And I want to say SPY was chopping, but Disney was rallying. Me and Kev was there. We were live trading that day, as a matter of fact. And we was like, man, like, do you see this? It's crazy. Right. So there are times where we go against that rule, where volume, so much price action is just involved in it, where it's like, all right, well, let me get a piece of this action, at least have a take profit or at least have a stop loss in mind. Without a shadow of a doubt, you need a stop loss. You need to know where you're going to get out of that trade if it falls, if it goes against you. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. Manage your money, manage your capital. That's our number one job in trading, is to manage our capital, right? But yeah, great job there. If you continue, I think it was JV said that. If you continue to follow that rule, man, you'll be golden. Yeah, Amazon made a nice move today, but the grand scheme of things, like the bigger picture, I like to say a lot, the bigger picture of things, man, if you just follow that rule, you'll be fine. Like, don't even worry about, oh man, I missed a move. Trust me, every single day there's new possibilities. I mean, just look at this week. Every single day there's been new possibilities, right? Every single day there's been an opportunity to make money. Guess what? Next week's going to be the same. The week after that's going to be the same. The week after that is going to be the same. Whether you guys are selling premiums because the market may be chopping at the time, whether you are selling, you're doing iron condor because it's trading sideways, whether you're selling premiums because we're rallying right now, whether you're selling calls because maybe the market hits a key level of resistance that we can't break, you know, whether you're using Jay's EMA strategy to scalp in and out, day trades, all of Kev's knowledge he's given you, whether you're using the TTM squeeze, whatever have you. Here's a question. Is it okay if you push in your account info so we can see better? Please, LOL, I have a little screen. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better? Kind of see this golden cross here. You see the first histogram bar of momentum. I mean, it's all over the place. Golden cross, higher move. Yeah, I see that. Here's a question. Would you say SPY has a long way to run since all the EMAs, SMAs are so far apart? Here's the thing with stocks. They tend to return to the mean. What does that mean? Can anyone tell me what that means? Stocks tend to return to the mean. Pull back before they run again. Correct. Average price reversion. Yes, reversion. That was the number one word I was looking for. Yes. You know, stocks tend to pull back and return to a certain price level, certain support before they continue higher. That's a healthy indication that the price action will move higher. That's just how tickers tend to move. Nothing goes up forever. Uh, so, I'm not going to say where the market is going to go. I've already told you guys, if you've been following along, I've already said for the longest that we were squeezing, we were showing bullish momentum, we were going higher. Period. I don't know where we're going from here. I know that we typically get 8 to 10 bars. How many bars are we on right now? Anyone tell me how many bars of the squeeze release we are on? What number? What number are we on? 9. Yes, great eyes. We're on the 9th bar. Not to say that we won't get more, not to say that we'll even get a 10th bar, but we're on the 9th. Here's the weekly chart of SPY. That's how many bars of momentum we got for the weekly. We got about 15, 16 bars of momentum on that squeeze release, right? 15, 16 bars of momentum. So, like I say, that's the average. That's the average release, 8 to 10 bars. So we could very well keep going. I will say check out the weekly chart on SPY. Just something to keep in mind. Just something that we want to keep watch of, right? Can anyone tell me what's taking place here on the histogram bars? What is this showing me? What is this telling me? What should occur next if we're following how the histogram bars move, how they recycle? Light blue bar. Yeah. Light blue bar comes after the yellow bars. If we get a complete rotation, I pulled this back to October. Check out October. where we had that big rally, right? We had the squeeze, we had the light blue bars, right? Sell off, lack of bullish momentum, bearish momentum, lack of bearish momentum, blue bars. Retested those highs, rejected those highs for a little bit, came back. That was bearish momentum. We squeezed, went higher, higher, fell below. Now we're seeing lack of bearish momentum. All right, this big drop was definitely bearish momentum. We're in the bear territory. Now we're no longer in bearish territory. So the next thing would be a move higher to retest all-time highs. I'm not saying that's where we're going. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do, but based off the TTM squeeze indicator, that's what it's telling me. I trade the charts. I don't trade the news. I suggest you do the same. So just keep that in mind. Just watch it. Just watch it. I'm not saying where the stock market's going. I'm not claiming to be foreseer or whatever, someone that can see into the future. I'm just saying that we are cycling through, and the next wave would be a upward momentum, and we'll see if we get that. We'll see. I think the Qs broke all-time highs today, if I'm not mistaken. Can anyone confirm that? Qs broke all-time highs today, or pre-market? Yes, they did. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see where we go. But yeah, another strategy I wanted to show you guys was the mid Bollinger Band bounce. And let me just pull up a smaller time frame. All right, let's just check out the 1 hour on SPY today. So check this out. If you were using the TTM squeeze indicator today, you would have seen that SPY was squeezing on the 1 hour charts, and we begin to get bullish momentum. What does that mean? What should I be anticipating next? Can anyone tell me? Bullish move, breakout. Yes. Okay. So we came here, and so this light blue line is our mid Bollinger Band. So you have this purple line is our lower Bollinger Band, mid Bollinger Band. This red is our top Bollinger Band. I just have these 5 and 10 pulled up so that it gives me confirmation of a golden cross or a death cross. Um, but typically what you'll see is you'll see a ticker hit this mid band, and it'll either A, bounce, or it'll break below. This is a very strong support level. This mid band doesn't work 100% of the time, but it's a very strong support. Our resistance. So if you have a ticker that comes to this support line, to this mid band, and it's holding, and then you get a bounce off, I enter calls. Depending on what market's doing. That's a strategy that I've used, and it's worked for me numerous of times. Here you can see we didn't even make it to the band. We bounced off the 10. We pulled up above the 5, and we actually began to move higher. Now, I hate that the market moves so much without us, because in my strategy, I typically would wait for the bounce, and I would time the breakout above this top band. That's when I take my entry. So a break above this top band. Can you guys see that? It happened pre-market. But if this were to occur, and I'll pull up some other examples. But if this were to occur during market hours, you take your entry above that band. A pullback below that band, make sure you have a exit strategy in place. But I usually set it a little bit below that top band for my stop loss. But if you would have, let's say this would have occurred during market hours, if you would have took that entry above, you would have been up like $6, right? You've been up a couple hundred, couple $1,000, depending on your position size. So let's look at that on some other tickers, right? Because I want to like really show you guys how this thing works. I kid you not, like this thing has made me like thousands of dollars, tens of thousands probably. All right, so here we get a golden cross pre-market. What does that mean? Golden cross. What does that mean? What's that telling me? Anybody tell me what that means? Bullish momentum, yes. 5 crossing the 10, yes. Awesome answer. So we get a golden cross, and look at here. This is perfect. Perfect example, right? First hour, BA comes down, and where does it touch? Touches the 10-period moving average right above, which is coincidentally almost level with the middle band, right? So that's two confirmations for you right there. That it comes and touches this area, and what does it do? It bounces up, forms a pin bar. You take your entry above this top band, and coincidentally, we have a red dot here, which is telling me that we are squeezing. Look, all of these lines are parallel. Or they're not parallel, but they're entwined with each other. Right. And then we get a blast off on the 1 hour chart, right? You would have took that entry, which is crazy that the top band lines up with my level. Do you guys see that? You guys see where this band lines up with my top level? That's like quadruple confirmation that you need to be in calls. Like it doesn't get any better than this. Seriously, you get a golden cross, you get a bounce off of that mid band, you get a break above the top Bollinger Band, and you get a break above a key level of resistance, and you'd be up a couple $1,000s on BA. Bullish sediment, yes. So let me make these screens a little bit wider for you guys. Same thing here on the 30-minute. Let's just say that you were looking. Let's bring this down to a 15-minute, right? If you're scalping. So let's check this out, right? We get a squeeze, 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 squeeze. This is like what you guys want to see. Like when you have these tickers squeezing like this with these Bollinger Bands, and like these Bollinger Bands like really, really tight, right? When you see Bollinger Bands like this, oh man, you want to be glued in. Like something big is about to happen because these bands can't stay this tight for too long. They have to expand. Like it's just price action, right? So this happened pre-market, but what you need to be watching, you need to be looking for the EMAs. I mean, not the EMAs, but the SMAs. You need to be looking for the release of the squeeze, which happens here. So that's telling us what? That we are having bullish momentum. We're going upward. We get a golden cross. The 5 crosses the 10. Still in pre-market, but it gives us an indication that we possibly could be heading higher. Now we do at open, you have people taking profit. We come down. Where do we land? We land right at that 10-period moving simple moving average, guys. Look at that, right above the mid Bollinger Band. You see how effective that this 10-period, 5-period is becoming? Boom, buy signal. Bounce off, the 5 bounces off the 10, continuation higher. Now here we get a def cross, the 5 crosses the 10, right? And we head lower. You guys see that?